sneaky snake. Hey Canto Drama Club, welcome back to our episode 6 reaction and breakdown video of Modern Dynasty. If you guys are enjoying this content, please hit that like button. If you want to see more of it, please subscribe if you want to. And let's get right into this episode. Alright, so the episode starts off with the family back at home after Sammy has visited Joe, and she's asked a bunch of questions, and she pretty much holds her place and is putting up a very strong face both at home and at work, even though she knows now the new news about Joe and his outside family. During this dinner, the two wives of brother 1 and 3 are telling both their husbands to step up and help Sammy through this difficult time that she has dealing with all these multiple big hats that she's trying to wear. These wives, some sneaky snakes right here. I mean, look at her. Sneaky. After the dinner though, Chloe actually has a private conversation with Sammy and asks her 3 questions. These 3 questions essentially nudge Sammy to get a divorce. Look at her. She's just manipulating Sammy's thoughts and telling her that she'll be by her side regardless of her decision. All of this is just to look after her own personal vendettas. Is this the face of a friend that you trust when you're sad and she looks at you with eyes that are about to eat your soul? Sneaky snake. Back in the office now, Daisuya and Thomas both argue at the board meeting about who should lead the next project. At this point, Sammy's pretty checked out, and when they ask her for her opinion, she pushes it, and that really throws the two brothers on a loop because she's so indecisive at this point. So after the meeting, Thomas and his uncle talk some serious smack about Sammy and her plans in the company behind her back, and this is all done on the rooftop terrace. And guess what? Of course, Marco and Sammy are also there at the terrace at the same time, sitting behind a couple shrubs, so very inconspicuous. These guys should have definitely found a better spot to start talking about all of that garbage. Back in home with Marco and his mom, she brings up that one of her friends is going through a divorce with her husband since the husband was cheating on the wife. Marco feels bad for not telling Sammy earlier about Joe since he knew about Mandy, and all of this talk about being a woman and the biggest fear for a woman is marrying the wrong man. All this stuff really throws Marco and throws all these people on a loop. So we get a little flashback where Joe and Marco are talking in the past, and guess what? It's about Sammy, and Joe asks Marco 3 questions. Number 1, if you meet a girl that you instantly connect with, but at the end of the day you don't end up with her, will you regret it? Number 2, Joe's dad always wants Joe to settle down, so if he gets married, won't he trust him more? And number 3, if your best friend and your girlfriend are more than friends, and that's where Marco kind of paused and was like, what do you mean more than friends? And then Joe kind of just bursts in and like, but they are best friends, then isn't that situation perfect? And of course, for Joe, who is going to marry his girlfriend and also has a best friend in Marco, who is best friends with the wife, or the future wife, it's a good situation for him. But for Marco, it is the worst absolute situation that any person, not even just guys, this situation can happen the other way around as well. That is the worst situation to be in. You're just trapped, and you're gonna feel bad for the rest of your life. I mean, look at that face. All of these questions just made Marco feel like absolute. Now coming back to the future, Marco is contemplating whether or not he should have told Sammy about Mandy and Joe. Maybe it would have prevented something. Maybe it would have prevented the heartache, all the suffering. And who knows, maybe Marco would have ended up with her too, but that is, it's just all a bunch of maybes. Back to present day, Chloe at a family breakfast spills the beans about Joe and Sammy's business. She sets up this whole story telling everyone that she's bought up all the pictures that the tabloids had taken, but in reality, she was the one that sent her friend, her little mystery friend, to go snooping around to take these pictures of Joe and Mandy. I'm telling you, she's a sneaky snake, this Chloe is. Then, as family breakfast wraps up and everyone's kind of on their way out of the house, Chloe baits Dynasty into her car and sets her up with some information on the tabloid company she was dealing with. And guess what? It's all just to set her up to call her friend who's on the other side of this tabloid company. All part of the plan. And guess what? Because Dynasty is not the smartest cookie, she bought it 100%, fell right for the trap. And guess what? She's doing all this because she just bit her. Chelsea is then sent to go see Joe in jail after getting back. Of course, Chelsea gets absolutely on again by her dad. She was supposed to handle things, but all of the news comes out before she could do anything. So, of course, he's pissed. Mandy then holds a press conference of her own and announces that her and Joe have a daughter together. Chloe and one of Sammy and their closest friends show up at Sammy's parents' place and start spewing a bunch of poison towards Sammy, telling her to divorce that fool Joe. And of course, that works well for you, sneaky snake. Sammy then sends Marco to go talk to Joe about a divorce. Later on that evening, after Marco secretly tells Dybot about Joe and what Joe had said, he goes to Sammy's to now chat at her parents' place. Magaloya then tells a story of a glass half full or empty. I still need to wrap my head around this reference. I'm not really sure what he was trying to accomplish with that one. Clearly, Sammy got it. So for any of you guys out there who did understand that reference and that analogy, that went straight over my head. Please leave your take on that in the comments section below, and I will happily read that out and try to understand it. So thank you in advance for that one. But regardless of that, he says that Mandy has been slithering around Joe for the past 3 years, but Joe wants nothing with Mandy. He still wants to marry Sammy. That means that he really loves her. Alright, and well, the episode ends with Sammy telling Marco to get the F in the car. We're going back to Maka. So that pretty much concludes the saga of the divorce. I think whatever happened with the chats, they finalized it and she wrapped her head around it. But yeah, that is the end of that episode. Looking forward to seeing you guys all back here at the next episode breakdown and reaction. Until then, take it easy. Peace out.